All right, I'm not going to go into what all this is about, but you can hear in my voice. I've been in the hospital for about 6 hours. A little bit of a head cold, and I had some issues with my stomach. So, yeah, everything so far came back negative, which is annoying because they've been trying to figure this out for a year. So I probably have to go see another specialty clinic. I'm tired. Okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go back to bed. I've been sleeping most of the afternoon. They also did a CT scan, blood work, had me pee in a cup, and gave me a drip as well. All right, I'm leaving the VA. It's raining, and of course I parked right in a puddle. Okay, I'm going to go in and make a cup of tea. I got to drink something hot, drink about a gallon of water. I got to pee again. Oh my God, same issue. I knew what was wrong. Oh, it just needs to stop. All right, I'm back at my garage. I had to pull a bunch of crap out of the van. I'll be in the van tonight, even though it's raining. I want to sort some things out, and just better for me to be working on stuff today and tomorrow instead of having to come back here in the morning. I have a lot to do tomorrow. Actually, it's Saturday. I'm sick. So anyway, so I've got laryngitis. I'm not going to show you on camera because I look like shit, and I feel even worse. So anyway, the dude abides. Oh, I was in the hospital for about 7 hours today. It took about 6 hours to get out of bed this morning. I felt like a freight train hit me. I have the full-fledged flu from, I say that 3 times fast, from the shoulders down and laryngitis from the shoulders up. So I don't have like a razor blade throat, or I just have congestion, which they gave me some anti-congestion pills. So I take half of those every 6 hours, which is fine. I hate pills. I don't do pills. I don't do any medication. And then they gave me chloroseptic spray to like spray my throat if it hurts, but it doesn't. I just have a raspy voice from the laryngitis. What else do I have? I had 99, like low grade fever, so that was fine. No worries about that. But then they did a CAT scan. It's a VA, so they're like, oh, we'll just do a CAT scan. It's all free. So I did a CAT scan, and it's a teaching hospital, so they're learning stuff, right, when they use me as a guinea pig. So they did a CAT scan. They also took about 1,000 vials of blood, and they put me on a drip because I was severely dehydrated. I have a condition where I don't produce enough antidiuretic hormones, so I've got to drink a lot of water. And I didn't really drink a lot when I was in New Orleans. All that salty food and walking around and not drinking enough water severely dehydrated me. And I was actually was pooping blood. That was great. So I was like, oh my God, I've got colon cancer, because my dad died of colon cancer. So they did the CAT scan, they did the blood work. I peed in a cup as well. They did the urinalysis. They asked me if I was pregnant. I was like, nope, no chance of that. So and then what else? So I was severely dehydrated. So diagnosis, severe dehydration, sorry, I can't speak. Laryngitis, the flu. And they can't give you anything for the flu. They just give you fluids. I had 2 medications to help my stomach, like bloating, go down because I've been having issues with my stomach all year. And my stomach actually didn't close fully when I had my daughter. I did a video on it, the diastasis recti, about 4 years ago. It's where your abs don't close after you have a baby. And because of that, I have like a 5-inch gap, or now I think it's a 3-inch gap. Well, I have a hernia, and the hernia is pressing on I think it's like part of my intestine is pushing onto my diaphragm, and it makes it very hard for me to breathe. Sometimes when I'm running, like on the treadmill, if I'm riding a bike, I'm kind of bent over, but if I'm doing anything that requires standing up straight, it's very hard for me to breathe. And I had a spasm a couple weeks ago where my whole shoulder just completely spasmed at the gym when I was taking a shower after my workout, and I couldn't even move. I couldn't bend down to tie my shoes, and I called the ambulance. They came out and did an EKG because I thought I had like an embolism. Now, I'm not like a hypochondriac. I never get sick or anything, so I'm a wimp when I do. But these are ongoing issues related to my spine disability, related to muscle damage from an assault, and related to having a baby. And having a 4-pack and then having a baby. My abs didn't close. So the VA has approved me multiple times for the surgery and then unapproved me, and then we had a pandemic in the middle of it. So I am trying to get this surgery done because now this is ridiculous that I literally, I'm in the hospital with these issues, and this has like been ongoing all year. So anyway, so that's that. I'm just gonna sort the van out. So I want to show you what I'm sorting out here. Hang on one second. All right, so when I was at the All Abilities or the Abilities Expo in Dallas, they had a T-Mobile rep, and he gave me this for free for 14 days. It's just a wireless modem, and if I'm in Wi-Fi, it's a hotspot. So if I'm in Wi-Fi or good internet, then I can go ahead and connect to their system, and this is better than using the Inseego 3000 sometimes because it's unlimited uploads and it's not going to run out. So this is $30 a month and the equipment is free. So I'm going to see how much power this takes from the Jackery, which is on the floor down there. So I was making a cup of tea earlier. And then over here I bought a little USB fan for my face at night so I can be cool. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff to take out. Oh, and then I got this light, which the internet told me to buy. It was only like $5, and it goes to about 50 feet, I think, and it has multiple different light settings, so I thought this was cool. So that's pretty cool. And then it's just a magnet, and then what you can do is it just rolls back up, and you can charge your phone on it, and it's just rechargeable. So yeah, so I'm gonna put this up to be festive. Okay, this only takes 9 watts, which is great. That's fantastic. So let me see if I can connect my computer. And that's great. So I can run this for 10 hours, and it's only taking 10% or something, which is great because this is a 1,000-watt Jackery. I'm so sick right now. I'm sorry for my voice. Just ignore me. Okay. Anyway, keep watching. You can turn the sound off if you want. Okay, I'm feeling a little better. Oh God, my voice is horrible. And in true form of Texas, it's now back up to 75 degrees in December. What the hell? It was cold yesterday. Anyway, it was raining yesterday too, like all day. And I have this obscene habit now of managing to park in a puddle. Every time I park somewhere, all these spaces, and the one space I pick is in a freaking puddle. It's okay. It's fine. I'll move forward, I guess. Anyway, okay, yeah, let me pull forward a little bit. And then I gotta go to Walmart to get provisions. And then I gotta head out to the state park and dump out my toilet. And then I'm back at the garage working on the van. I will do an episode on upper cabinets. I bought an upper cabinet. I did have some help for it, but I don't have that help available anymore. So I need to figure out, maybe I'll go down to the Houston Tool Bank. Maybe they can help me. I need a riv nut tool. I need someone to help me install the riv nuts, and then help me lift it because I can't, because I had hand surgery. It was my scar. And so anyway, okay, let me just go in Walmart, get my stuff, and then head out for the day and get all my other stuff done.
Good morning. My dumbass decided to back into the wall of my garage when I was trying to back the van in just now. So I had to drive about 20 minutes to O'Reilly Auto Parts to their paint shop, which is across the street from Sherwin-Williams Paints. And they're going to mix QAK, which is the paint color that I need for my van, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to try to fix it. I took off a little bit of top coat. It's not terrible. I didn't break the tail light or anything. I just look like I'm completely stupid. All right, I got my rubbing alcohol and my sandpaper, and this is interesting. This is a gas thing. I need that for Alaska. That thing's huge. Why is it so big? It has like 20 gallons. How much is it? $44 on sale. That is exactly what I need. Oh, it's a drain pan. Never mind. I was like, wait, I need that for gasoline. That's not for gasoline. These are also not for gasoline. Drain container. Where's the... I don't know. I haven't planned Alaska yet. That's going to be in a year or two. What else do I need? Nothing. Air fresheners. These are all oil changes. And down here, I need something wrong with my fuel intake pipe. So I need to do that. Anyway, yeah, I went to the other O'Reilly and they said, oh, we can just give you whatever white paint you need. I said, this isn't gonna match. So they're actually mixing, and they said that it's a good thing I came in today because for 3 months their paint mixing machine wasn't working. I'm like, yes, I planned it well. Here's a buffer. I don't need that. Car polisher. Don't need that either. And that's it. So after that, I'm gonna go back to the van. Might go to the British store and get some Christmas crackers for Harriet for tomorrow, because we're doing Christmas early because she's with her dad for Christmas. So we're gonna have our Christmas on Sunday. So this is the dumbass thing I did. So I scratched the tail light, but that's fine. So this is the rust that came off from this pole right here. So if you look here, I didn't destroy the bumper. I don't think the bumper is damaged. If I go over here, It looks the same on both sides. Nothing is done to the bike rack. And it was just like a split second, but it looks worse than it is because this is all the rust. And then part of the top coat came off. So I just need to sand that down a little tiny bit and just dab the paint on and then try to get the rust out of the paint and then just paint the whole area and then down here as well. So I pretty much lucked out. It could have been a lot worse. I could have smashed my tail light. But yeah, all this is rust. So I'm going to clean this with the what is it, the rubbing alcohol or whatever the guy told me to buy. I'm going to clean this off and see how that goes and then assess where I need to do the painting. There's a little bit of paint up here and a little bit further down here, but yeah, it could have been a lot worse. This is fine actually. I'm going to repaint the whole van eventually. I've got my light here in case it gets dark soon, and there's bird poop and there's my reflection. So let me do this and hopefully this will fix this piece of crap damage. Not dented, which is good. Don't think it got dented. Yeah, not dented. It just wiped across the rusty, I don't know, scaffolding or whatever is on this garage that I park my van in. So don't ever do that. I just miscalculated the turn backing in and then ended up doing this. Okay, that's already looking far better than it did. So I just need to try to get this rust out and this rust out down here. And I think a little bit more in here. And then I'll be ready to clean it off fully, let it dry, and then start sanding and then painting. I'm just gonna sand this down a little bit just to even it out so it doesn't flake. And then I can put the paint on. This is the sandpaper that they told me to get. So I'm gonna cut a little piece off and then go ahead and sand this area down here. Now for the Nissan van, it's QAK for the standard white. Mine's a 2018. It might be a bit different for yours, but look at the VIN number, or go by the VIN number and then look at the sticker on the door to tell you what code it is. Mine's QAK? Yep, and there's a little brush. So I'm just gonna use this to go ahead and fix this crap. So again, it could have been worse. I'm glad it's not. I don't think it dented anything. Let me double check. That door looks a little... I don't think it dented anything. All right, that's good. I think I'll check it in about 2 hours to see if I need another coat of paint, but I think this will do for now. And then in a couple days, I'll add another coat of paint right before it starts raining on Christmas Day. And then this is my upper cabinet that I need to install. So not gonna tackle that yet. I'll do that on another episode, probably in the new year. I need extra pair of hands and someone with a riv nut tool. Other than that, okay, well, cool. All right, so this side here looks identical to this side over here. Yay. Actually, that looks really nice. I think I might use it on here too. So this, you can't really see, but there's, yeah, there you see that little patch? That was somebody had keyed my, or dented my car somehow. I don't know how they did it. So I'm gonna paint over that as well, because I just used whatever I could get from AutoZone, which was not the right shade, obviously. So I'm gonna paint over that as well. And I think we're good to go. And then I can get some computer work done now. Okay, it's that time of year. Sorry, I'm still dealing with laryngitis and the stomach flu. Excuse me. But I need to get oil change and state inspection. So here in Katy, I think it's only $7. And because I live in Fort Bend County, I don't need to do an emissions test, which is helpful. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the state inspection done right now, get my oil change. I get a 25% discount for veterans and active military, which is helpful as well. He looked at the top of my van and was like, the hell are you gonna get inside my oil bay there? I was like, look, you just have to undo the little straps at the bottom of the sign and then it'll let me in. So anyway, okay. Yeah, I come here all the time. This is my usual one. But yeah, I need to park up somewhere and work on my computer. I've got 6 videos I want to get done. And so I think I'll just find a nice cold Starbucks and work in there. It's easier that way. I'm more motivated. All right, so no state inspection because they have some problems with the machine. I don't know, or maybe they just don't want to do it on a Sunday. But they will do an oil change for me at least. So that's good. I can come back another day. I have until January. So here we go. In we go. Hitting the ceiling. That's great. Everything hits. Oops. There you go. Thank you. Thanks. I'm
always terrified getting out of this place. I have to do like a 17-point turn. Okay, we're all good. We're all lubed up. It's like, I just want to get better. I hate being sick. Oh my God, I finally took a shower, so that was good. Oh my God, I just slept in bed all day yesterday after working on about 4 videos. All right, what am I gonna do now? I can't eat still. Gas is cheap, so I should probably fill up my gas tank since I'm here. And then I think I'm gonna go take the van back to the garage, get my car, and then go to Starbucks for the day and go work on stuff. Okay, I'm just trying to take it easy. I don't really want to be in public though because I'm sick, and maybe I'll just go work in the garage since I have Wi-Fi there. I think I'll do that, although it's going to be hot. So let me see if the garage isn't too hot, I'll work there. If not, then I'll go find a Starbucks and go sit in there instead. I don't know. Right now I just feel tired and my throat is still, it doesn't even hurt. I don't have like razor blades when I swallow or anything. It's just, I'm just miserable. I don't like being sick. Good morning, it's Wednesday and I'm gonna try to run for 30 minutes. I think that's all I'm gonna be able to do. My lungs aren't still 100%. But anyway, yeah, let me do that. And then I'll shower here. And then I have to go back down to the VA and go take care of some stuff for Jeff. Try to get him into a better situation than what he's in right now. Okay, so let's go work out. Good morning. It's raining. So finally cooling down again. It was hot yesterday. It's going to rain today, probably rain the rest of the week, which is good. I ran at the gym, so that's fine. Did about 45 minutes. And then yeah, so now I've got to go to the VA hospital and go do some adulting and go take care of admin stuff to go help our friend. He's not in a good situation. Can't go into details, won't go into details. It's not looking good, and this is my best friend of like 32 years. So I need to go take care of this. Hopefully there'll be some answers. I've got a couple leads to some other people that work at the different VAs around the country that might be able to get us an in so we can get to the right person. But I'm gonna go down in person myself. I have to go to the VA anyway, take care of some things, which is like way on the other side of town. Then I have to go to my storage unit, and then after that I need to just kind of work on my computer a bit. So anyway, okay, so I'm at the gas station. Captivating content. Anyway, feeling better actually. I was able to run and not die. So like my lungs are fine actually. It's just that I've got that little glob in my throat, and it was stomach flu and laryngitis. It wasn't even COVID. I was like, I've never had COVID, and I've had like a bazillion vaccines, and you know, people that are anti-vaccine, I'm like, you know what, I've never had any disease that I've been vaccinated for. So something must be working. And I've been to 90 countries, and I've been to some of the most craziest places you can imagine, exposed to probably like polio and typhoid and cholera and all this stuff. Never got any of it, so yay me. So also the military, you line up, you roll your sleeves up in, you know, the in processing, and they line you up and they go boom, 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 and they just jab you on each side. And because I have a tuberculosis vaccine, which is called a BCG, and it's in my left arm, it's a little scar there. So British kids, when you're 12 at school, like in year 7 or 8, I think, the first year of high school, you start high school when you're 11 going on 12. And then I think it was 8th grade, I think, where they gave me the BCG, or 7th grade in England. And so, which is a year before 7th grade and 8th grade in America. So when I moved to America, I skipped a year. So I was like, why are all the kids so old in 8th grade? And I realized I was a year younger. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So the BCG, not to be confused with the BCGs, which are, or the BGs, they're all 3 different things. The BCGs are the brown glasses they give you in basic training, army basic training, and they're like, they have a female version and a male version, and neither are very attractive, and they call them BCGs because they're birth control glasses. And then they line you up in front of the whole 200 people in your company, and everyone laughs at you because you got to wear BCGs. I had to wear BCGs, and yes, they were lovely, and they were so heavy because I didn't have the condensed lenses, just gave me like the old school ones, and I had to wear the geek strap, and it was not my finest moment. But anyway, I'm pretty blind. So the BCG tuberculosis vaccination, so in America, I guess they just do a skin test like in your wrist, And so I go to, I'm in processing, or I'm in reception when I get to basic training for the Army, and they go to do a skin test and I pull my arm away. And the sergeant or whatever, he's like, private, you know, like I've just violated an order. And I was like, no, don't give me a skin test, it'll be positive. And he's like, do you have tuberculosis? I'm like, do you have a medical degree? No. Like, I don't have tuberculosis because I have a vaccine. He goes, there's no such thing as a vaccine for TB. And I said, yeah, there is, and it's in other countries, and you know, we all have a little scar on it. And I showed the scar and I said, look, this is from BCG. And so I had to walk around with a sign. I think they did it deliberately to humiliate me. So I'm at reception and I'm walking around the medical section where everyone's getting their jabs and their eye tests and getting their heads shaved and everything, and walking around holding this sign that says positive for tuberculosis. And I'm like, literally, like, just give me a bell hanging from my hat and just call me a leper. I mean, it was like people were like, ah! And I was like, I don't know, you know, I'm like, I couldn't even sneeze or cough or anything. I'm like, I don't have tuberculosis, dude. I have a vaccine. So there's also the travel clinic at the VA, which was fantastic. So when I went to Africa in 2019, I had to get a polio booster, typhoid shot, tetanus shot, get malaria pills, which are not good for you, but I think it was doxycycline or something. I don't know. They gave me something to take like 2 weeks before, and then every day or 3 times a day or something while I was in Africa. And I didn't get bitten by a single mosquito. I blink here and I get bitten by mosquitoes, but they don't bother me. They, you know, it stings, like tickles for a minute, and then like the bump goes away. They don't like me. But yeah, so so the travel clinic will kind of keep track of people that travel, because it's also for their research, right? Because it's a teaching hospital. So I've been in the travel clinic. I've been part of the genetic study. I've been part of, you know, a bunch of different studies that they've had. And so it's been really good. Anyway, so yeah, so then they follow up with me afterwards, and then they also gave me the yellow fever shot. The only thing is that there's only one place in Houston that was doing it, and that was Kelsey-Seybold, like civilian hospital, like public hospital. And so I had to go down there and pay like $200, and then the VA reimbursed me, and I got my yellow fever shot, which you get a card and you keep the card with you in your passport, like it's for life. And I have my passport with me. I don't have my yellow fever card, obviously. I don't need it here in the States. But when I got to Nigeria, like, I had a protocol officer. My friend was my friend ran like an oil company. She's an amazing woman, a Nigerian woman. And so she arranged for a protocol officer, immigration officer, and a driver. So when I got to Nigeria, I didn't have to worry about getting like accosted or manhandled or anything going through immigration when I arrived, because it's crazy. Like, foreign airports are nuts, and like I said, I've been to half the planet. So yeah, I was able to just get kind of like shuffled through. Protocol officer, VIP, special person coming through, got right to my driver, and it was great. But they didn't ask for the yellow fever card. When I flew from Nigeria to the Ivory Coast, and then I drove back through Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and back to Nigeria over a couple of weeks. And when you got to Ivory Coast, you get off the plane, and right when you get into immigration, you all get shuffled over into these like little pods. And this was 2019, this was before COVID. And a little guy in a lab coat comes out, and a little clipboard, a little French guy, and he's like, everything's in French there. So he comes out and he's like, we, and I'm like, I didn't tell him I was British, because the French hate the British. So I don't know, my French is atrocious, and I think anyone that tries to speak French that doesn't speak it well should just not speak in France. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I love France. It's one of my favorite countries, and I've not spent nearly enough time there. And it's really easy for van life. They have lots of these things called airs where you can like park and have electricity, and it's like very, very van life friendly. And one day I would like to do van life there, either in Prudence or in a European van. Anyway, back to me. So the guy comes out in the lab coat, and he's clipboard, and he checks the yellow fever card, and then he has to take your temperature and then go through and make sure your visa is correct and stuff. And then it's very intimidating and interrogating. And then he's like, okay, au revoir. I'm like, oh, okay, that was terrifying. Let me just go on my merry way now. And only I think when I went from Ghana to Togo, that's right, Ghana to Togo, the immigration was terrible. Like, it was really horrible. Like, there was maybe 3 or 4 other foreigners, but the guy pulls us into the office and he's trying to make me get a meningitis shot. And I'm like, I already got a meningitis shot. Like, I don't need to get a needle put in me in the middle of Africa. That's the last thing I want. But he's like, well, you bring disease in. And I'm like, okay, I've got all my shots. Here's my vaccinations. And the person I was traveling with didn't have any vaccination records. I have I have a go bag. I've got my folder, which has everything in my entire life, like my birth certificates, my vaccinations, my international driver's license, my parents' utility bill. I don't know, it's got everything in it. And he didn't have any documentation, and it kind of was like, well, you might have to get a jab. Not me. I got everything in order, because that's how I roll. As a journalist, and I used to, when I lived in Japan for 4 years, I went to about 40 countries, and it was great. And I did fact checking and updating for travel books, so things like Lonely Planet, and then airline magazines, and Associated Press, and things like that. So I updated like bureaus, and then they like repositories, and then the newspapers and things would pull that information out on the tickers, or that kind of thing back in the day. This is like 24 years ago, almost 25 years ago. And I did that for 4 years, and I updated travel books. I updated Google. So I had a job where there's probably about, I don't know, a couple hundred of us around the world, and whatever country I went to, this company would give me a list of hotels and restaurants and say, hey, can you just grab a menu, or get their rate card, or snap a picture of their pricing, because back then not everybody had websites, and so Google was populating before the algorithm, before they could just use the APIs and pull everything from people's sites. And what we did is we basically gathered hotel and restaurant information in like Tokyo, Bangkok, and it was Western stuff, right? It was like the Sheraton and the Hyatt and the Hilton and the Four Seasons. And then what I did is I put it in an envelope and sent it to India, and then they had a database company just punching it into Google, and that's how they populated Google. And I got paid, I don't know, $25 every time I sent something in. So I could easily make, if I was, on it and diligent, spend like 3 days out of a 1 month trip, and I make like $2,000 for 3 days of work, because it was like, some of it was more depending on like what kind of information they needed, but it was great. And I would just tell my backpacking friends I met, and I'll be like, hey guys, I gotta do something today, and then I just go around. I'd get a driver. I'd get somebody like in Bangkok and say, hey, taxi driver, can you just be my driver for the day, and pay them like $100 or something, and then they drive me all around the city, and I can just hop in and hop off and go grab all the stuff, and it takes like 3 seconds. I love that job. I did that for 4 years, and populated Google. And then I got into digital media, doing databases and digital analytics and websites and all of that stuff. And I understand the algorithm. I understand how that stuff works, and it's constantly changing. But yeah, back in the day when you were searching for your hotel in Cambodia or New Delhi or something, it might have been my info. Anyway, so that said, let me go in this gas station here. I'm still a little clammy, like a little, not congested, but just, I don't feel like my whole body opened up again. I'm still kind of confined right now. So I think, once I move around a little bit, it was good to run this morning. I'm going to try to run tomorrow as well. And then Friday, I've got a lunch meeting for the nonprofit. So I'll probably run 3 days this week. If I do at least half an hour to 45 minutes, that's happy for me. And then I walk for another like half an hour. And then I don't know what else I'm doing. Saturday I've got some work to do, and then Sunday some other stuff. So yes, it's kind of a busy week. But anyway, okay, well, I'm wasting a lot of time. It's already 11:20. So let me get going, and I'll chat with you guys later. Bye.